Good afternoon, class. We're going to be going over the basics of bench pressing. I'm going to teach you all the form and how to properly do it. First of all, when you're starting bench pressing, you want to make sure your arms are shoulder width apart, and you're going to keep them straight out like this. You want to do this to make sure that you're using the right pectoral muscles in your chest, so you won't strain any of your arms and your muscles or some other one. When you're doing this, you want to make sure to grab the bar with your whole hand, shoulder width. Wrap it around. If you can't wrap it around, as much as you can. Don't hold your hands open or at an angle or close in a weird way. This helps you hold the weight and make sure you don't injure yourself when you're lifting. So right now I'm going to show you just a demonstration of when you're holding the bar in air. This is just so you can see it from an angle. You're going to want to hold it at shoulder width, which is about right here for me. And as you can see, my hands are wrapped all the way around the bar. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure your chest doesn't come off the bench. You want to make sure you can pop out your chest, but don't lift it where it raises your back and you make an arch as such like this, because you can injure your back and that can permanently injure you and have a lifelong effect. So right now we're going to go over to the bench so I can show you a demonstration of actually on the bench. When you start off, you're going to sit down in about wherever your head can reach the end of the bench, and you want to make sure you don't hit your head with the bar because it can hurt you. When you're benching, you want to make sure you have your spotter. I want to have Coach Rodriguez help me out right now to make sure. So when you go, you're going to lay down, make sure your head's at the end of the bench, and you're going to have your arms shoulder width apart. And when we lift, we're going to call out 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to lift together. And he's going to let go, move his hands so I can properly do the bench to myself. When we're benching as well, when we bring the bar to our chest, we want to bring it 2 inches away from our chest and then raise it all the way back up straight. Here's an example. 3, 2, 1. It is very important to have a spotter because once you have more weights on, the weights can become heavy and the person lifting might not be able to handle it. So when you have to have a spotter, you must, it's for your safety. So it's happened where people, when they're lowering the weight, they can't pick it back up, or when they're picking it up, they drop the weights and it lands on their chest and they're unable to move, and that can injure your chest, your heart, and there's a bunch of vital organs that are there as well. So when you're spotting, basically you're going to stand behind them, behind the bench. You're going to help them raise the bar. You can use your whole hand, you can use 2 fingers, however you like, depending on the weight. And you're going to help them lift it on 3. And you're going to step back and let them lift the weights. You're just there for their safety. You're not going to help them out. You're going to go down with them and you're going to come back up with them. This is you're not going to touch the bar. You're going to have your fingers a couple inches away from it. Just in case they're going to drop the weight, you can be there to help them out. There's another way of spotting as well. You're going to have 2 people on the edges, and you're going to have 1 person on each side just in case they drop the weight, but that's usually more in powerlifting meets and other types of events where they're using a large number of weights. So let me show you the spotting right now with Coach Rodriguez. As you can see, he has his head at the end of the bench and his arms are shoulder width apart. Now I'm going to show you the spot. You have your knees bent just in case, so you can use your legs for support when you're lifting up the weights, because you don't want to injure your back as well. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1. And you're going to help them rock it. that's how you have you show them how to do the proper spotting event. I'm not going to show you the other one because that's usually more technical with more powerlifting meets, and it's not used in physical education classes. So can anyone tell me what is the proper form in lifting where you're supposed to have your hands? How wide are you supposed to have our hands? Yes, at our shoulders. And how many people spot? Yes, one person spotting or two, either, but we only use one right now. And how many inches is the bar supposed to be at the end of the, when you're lifting, how many inches is it supposed to be away from your chest? No, not 4, 2. You want to have it almost hitting your chest, and then that's when you raise it back up. At what angle are our elbows not supposed to pass? Yes, we don't want to bring it past our chest. We want to keep it right here and raise it back up. Alright, so right now what we're going to do for the student practice, I'm going to be setting you all up into groups of 2. So you two, and then you in the back right here. You two. You're each going to get a station. What we're going to do in the station, we're going to practice first with the light bars that are over here. Those weigh only 5 pounds, so I'm pretty sure everyone can do it. When you're there, you want to make sure you have the proper form, again, which is shoulder width apart. And when you lower it, I'm sorry, you're going to bring it back up. Again, make sure you do not raise your chest and arch your back, because that can injure you and it could be permanent. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to give you all 5 minutes to just practice on that. Make sure you got the proper form. Again, one's going to be squatting still and one's going to be lifting. And the squatter's going to be practicing their form, which is their knees bent, their hands right here, their biceps right at a slight angle. And you're just going to help them lift it and be there just in case you drop the weight. No one's going to drop this weight because it's super light, it's 5 pounds. So everyone's going to be able to do it. And now, after those 5 minutes are up, I'm going to give you all another 5 minutes to start putting in a little bit of weight, but make sure you start off light because form is key in lifting weights. You can be able to do 500 pounds bench press, but if you have the wrong technique, it's not helping you out at all. When you're bench pressing, it's supposed to help all your chest muscles in this area, both sides. So you see those guys in the muscle magazines that have those big pecs? They have, that's what they do. They bench press a lot, but they made sure they have the right form when they're doing it. Because you can't build up when you have the wrong technique. If you're super wide, if you're super close, you're not going to be able to build up all the muscles that you need to be able to have that structure. So again, practice on both forms, make sure they're right, and then you can start adding some more weight on it. I'm going to be walking around the weight room just in case y'all need any help. I'll be there. If you need me to show you how to spot, if you need me to show you how I lift again, I'll be glad to help you do it. And again, don't be afraid to ask if you need help on anything. I'll be there.